Good morning and what's up, YouTube? Cinematic Otaku Chris returning with a special video and recapping January 2023. I hope your start for the new year is treating you well. As for me, January had a rough start on me due to a personal loss of our last family pet. I took some time to recover, yet I was busy trying to adjust some new things without our pet. But frankly, I had been gaming and watching movies, which pretty much helped a whole lot to take things off my mind. Also, gone back to game night with my brother and his pals, which was a blast. I even spent time catching up with my stepmother and my stepbrother in Bellingham, which was pretty neat. I We shopped a bit and dined at a wonderful diner featuring a wonderful coffee I had. That is the Austrian coffee, the most flavor, and 6 mini pancakes that I couldn't even finish. Ooh, wow. But yeah, nothing too spectacular. However, I, I am catching up with my artworks I'm drawing for my great friends, including a big piece for my bestie that is taking a bit longer than I expect to be. And, well, I think I must be in artist block, but I'm trying my best to free myself from it at the moment. But 6 characters in this piece. I've done something like this a few times in my life before, but hey. Also catching up with old friends from high school, because they always thought of me and how awesome I was, and they're good friends. Yes, indeed. My brother and I still keep in touch with them. I've also had recently revisited some anime I enjoyed. The first season of Rosario the Vampire, I was introduced to a once buddy who was a big fan of that, alongside Soul Eater and High School of the Dead. And I still enjoyed the manga for Rosario Vampire more than the anime. This was before I met my main bestie on DeviantArt, as I mentioned. But yeah, I've rewatched Bleach Hellverse, the most epic since the second film, The Diamond Dust Rebellion, and the first Cardcaptor Sakura film, where she goes to Hong Kong. That's always nice. Also been trying to reorganize things with my room, including my media cabinet, which, yeah, and doing my videos on YouTube, which I'm blessed to have 13 subscribers so far, and the most viewings on my Vinegar Syndrome collection, and that amazing CBS box video box set for the Star Wars trilogy. I appreciate it, everybody, so thanks. But that said, speaking of films, there are some pretty good films I've watched this month. Almost made it to a top 10, the best I've seen. Yet, I must have seen probably over 20 this month, including some revisits with Armando Diasorio's works. But hey, let's get down to the list. The first one up is, well, a Jess Franco film, one of his earlier films during the mid-60s. That is The Diabolical Dr. C. Ignore the background. My house is always busy time to time, so you have to pardon that a bit. So anyways, Diabolical Dr. C is pretty groovy and entertaining. A mad doctor's daughter decides to don her father's shoes and uses a go-go dancer to do the dirty work for her. Good stuff. Love the Mondo Macabre release. Of course, that being the first time it ever got its home video debut. Transfer looks decent enough. As for, I wonder how the Kino Lorber Blu-ray release looks with the extra scenes, of course. Another movie I've watched is one, speaking of another talented Spanish horror filmmaker, and that is Vampires, Very Unnatural Ladies. His most famous film to date, about two bisexual vampires luring unsuspecting men in the mansion they once lived. Very sexy, very gory. Certainly one of the best I've seen from this director so far. This and Symptoms. There's a lot plain to say about how good this one is. Marianne Morris and Playboy's Anna Luca star in this one, and they do make a pretty intriguing, sexy couple, unlike the ones from, well, maybe like the one from The Vampire Lovers with Ingrid Pitt as Carmilla. Good stuff. Okay, next one I've watched off my list, The Incubus, John Cassavetes. Weird movie with a teen who dreams of being a monster terrorizing people with bizarre results. Entertaining, underrated gem, directed by Jung Hu, who also gave us The Legend of Hell House, Dirty Mary Crazy Larry, and The Watcher in the Woods. Featuring a score by Stanley Myers. Good horror mystery to get into, but that final scene is unexpected. Kind of punches you afterwards. The moment it comes, it's like, what? Still, good stuff. Alrighty, the next one I watched, as I'm looking off my list, info they're out of order, is The War Lies Grasp, by Armando Iannuccio, a film about a mysterious woman who is human by day and a lizard woman by night. Probably the goriest movie Iannuccio's done that I've seen so far since The Return of the Blind Dead. Awesome myth, but makeup dated at its time. Again, a product of its time when it comes to Spanish horror, but I'm actually grow to appreciate Armando Iannuccio since he was the one responsible for the Blind Dead series. I recently got Matt to watch some of his stuff for the first time, and he thought it's good. He still said it was good, but slow. It's because the Spanish know how to take some time in building a good story, which I agree. There's something special about Spanish horror. I could go on for hours, but try to analyze it much as I can. Of course, moving on to Perversion Story, or On One Top of the Other. An early giallo Fulci directed, set in the swinging 60s. I think of it as Vertigo meets American Gigolo. The rest may got me off track during the film, my viewing experience. However, there's something kind of special about this film that it's one to be seen to believe, but also Fulci's most tamed work I've seen so far of all of his films I've seen. The last several minutes is a wow. You wouldn't believe it until you see it. The next one I've seen is what I like to call The Italian Exorcist with the Antichrist by Alberto Di Martino. Wow, what a film. Beats William Friedkin's Hollywood classic shocker. Only Italians prove they can make better movies, in my opinion, featuring cinematographer by future filmmaker of, sleaze and horror, Joe D'Amato. Awesome, awesome, trippy moments and an epic exorcism. So, of course, last one I would like to mention is one that's so bad, it's so good, but I wouldn't see this one again because this one was ultimate gross out. It's from Germany, titled Zombie 90. It's Dream Persistence. Hard to pronounce the title anyway, but it's a shot on video with everybody infected to become the living dead. It's wow. The OMFG of Ultimate Gross Out Fest, featuring one of the most ridiculous dubbings I've ever listened to make to a point it's enough to make you imagine Wolfman Jack was born from the South. It's something else, but I wouldn't revisit that one because that one definitely spells shock value, but also some laughter to it. And that pretty much concludes my short film reviews for this month, even though I only have 15 minutes in doing this monthly blog. Again, thank you for everything with my channel and all the support this month. I'd like to make a few shout outs. The comment below, of course, description. And it is February now. Let's see how far we'll come into. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe after viewing. Cheers, everybody.